Morning, y'all. What's up? We here back with the Sorry Shoe Podcast, 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays, not 6 a.m., but in the morning. uh, we got a bunch of things to cover today. I want to give y'all a warning. We might go a little conspiracy, Illuminati type of layer today, all right? We're going to go through some of the updates with Kanye. I want to talk about him going off and spazzing about his kids. It seemed like a very emotional rant. There was parts of it where I thought like, yo, he might be crying behind that a little bit. I couldn't tell in his voice. There's some other pieces in here, including him and somebody else that he linked up with that I got to get off that track and then just point out, damn, that's corny as shit. That's just one of the corniest things I've seen all week. Right. But then as I get to Lil Durk, you see Lil Durk in the thumbnail. I'm going to bridge not just into the updates as we lead towards his bond proposal or bond hearing. But I'm going to further get into a little bit more of this Illuminati thing. And then y'all going to understand at that point why I got people like Malcolm X in the thumbnail and even Adam 22 as well. OK, trying to bridge it together. But tinfoil hat slightly today, slightly, but I still got some things that we got to check. All right. So let's start off. Let's bring Kanye up here and let's first just look at this rant that he went on about his kids, and then we'll start to get into deeper context.
Why you got all these black kids that just sitting in that school and y'all niggas is just trying to jump up and down from McDonald's, nigga? None of these celebrity niggas give a fuck about anything but their next motherfucking cheeseburger, nigga. Yeah, Akademiks put that battery in my back, bro. Because I was in the airport by myself, bro. That shit is so important to me, man. That means love you, bro. That meant everything to me, bro. I'm gonna go get these kids, man. Fuck all these faggot niggas. I'm gonna go get these kids, bro. I'm talking to the lawyers. It gets to the point where I don't lose my fucking mind. I'm like, I have to get used to that seeing my kids. Like, it'll be okay. And then niggas like, hey, Ferg. Oh, I could be whole. Nigga, I could be whole when I see my kids. Nigga, come talk to me. You niggas don't know shit. I'm the leader, nigga. Why y'all keep trying to figure shit out, nigga? If I go like that, y'all go like that. I'm y'all leader. All of y'all. And it's okay. It ain't nothing. But y'all niggas ain't doing no season 3 stadium show. How many millionaires you seen Virgil made? How many people met Virgil was like, I'm a millionaire now. I'm a billionaire now. That's what they do. The white people, the Jews, they'll grab a Kendrick, a Virgil, and then put a false idol, a false king. And I'm not here to be your idol. I'm the leader. I'm not here to be worshipped. And as a leader, I'm saying, how am I supposed to lead y'all if I don't got my kids with me to continue what we're doing? I ain't got no motherfucking legacy. So why the fuck you think I'll be spazzing out, nigga? Twins in charge of my motherfucking legacy, nigga, and I'm gay. Twins in charge of my motherfucking legacy, and I'm gay, nigga. Turn that shit off. I'm in charge. I'm in charge of my legacy. Let me put that in the universe. Thank you, Ak.
A lot to unpack there. Y'all see the caption? Caption from Hollywood Unlocked. Kanye continued to go off on his celebrity friends for not helping him with his custody situation. And even though I just look at the next two comments, maybe swastikas and molestation of family members aren't kid friendly. So that's related to the cousin thing and then the whole swastika thing and the KKK robes. And we're going to even see more of that coming up in a second, folks. Bear with me. Please remove us from the chat. Yay. We are exhausted and confused. So, yeah, the reason why I'm able to continue to watch Kanye, despite how much I disagree with him and his character as a man and as a person. For me, once y'all know, it's a broader thing for me at this. It's a higher level thing of me watching him. I know it's a podcast topic and we are potting, right? Some of it is entertainment for me, for y'all, but the bigger picture is involved here. So this is when I say the Malcolm X and the Adam 22 and the powers that be as I bridge over to Durk and a little bit of the Illuminati level. It's because now with this particular rant, he gives me two things to discuss. Not just his continued going off on people that are not standing by him, as he has his own personal inter-family or inner-family custody battles with his kids and Kim K, right? But the other one is just the simple powers that be. Why? Because narratives get opened up by people that are speaking out for him or have spoken out for him. Because if you just watch that rant, what did he say? He said, "Academics that touched my soul." What Akademiks recently did is what he wants Jay-Z, Beyonce, Drake, Cardi, Playboy Cardi, all these people. He wants people to do what Act did. What did Act do? This is what I'm talking about as far as, it's splitting now and creating a whole nother perspective of what the discussion could or would be.
Yo, Kim K and motherfucking Kris Jenner, man, I rebuke y'all in the name of Jesus. Allow my man Kanye West, now known as Ye, to raise his black children. Y'all white heathens should not be allowed to control a black man's child and involve them in all type of demonic debauchery to corrupt innocent souls. Allow Ye to raise his kids. My name is Akademiks, and I stand with Ye. He should be able to raise his kids as a father and as a good, positive influence of the black community and a strong black man. Allow Kanye to raise his kids, okay? We're not going to tolerate this, and I'm standing with them, okay? We don't care. Listen, this ain't going to go down like how y'all did Tyrese. We're rocking with Ye, and we won't stop until he gets to raise his kids, and I don't care if it means cussing, whatever, but he should be allowed to make decisions about his children. That's a fact, okay? We got to stop taking out the men out of the household. We got to stop stripping their rights away, and we got to stop ostracizing them. Like, basically, they're the worst thing to happen to the offspring that they got. Yay, we stand with you. And I'm going to speak up if nobody else will. Trust, okay?
If nobody else will. Kind of closed it out like it was some advertisement, right? Let's stop there before I get to my swastikas and all that type of shit. Shout out to Sean and the members in the building, man. Aka groupie. I mean, he has groupie-like tendencies towards several people. Drake is a clear one that we've seen his behavior and the way he carries himself, his character towards. When somebody could do no wrong in front of you, yeah, there's elements of groupie nature there. But staying on Act's, video here. Remember, people, for lack of nothing else, Akademiks has a very big platform. He has a very big voice. This is why, if your little baby's management, you're gonna get in touch with them. Meek Mill's Dream Chasers want to talk to him. Hey man, how we figure this out or whatever. He's got a big platform. He's got a big voice. He's got a platform. Period. Right? You got a lot of people that don't have platforms. They want to speak up for themselves. They got to go somewhere else. Right? Like, let's say I got into a back and forth with somebody that has a huge platform. Not only do I have a significant platform, but my platform would be raised because the eyes of that, right? So me having my own place to defend myself and respond, the views might be matched in those particular scenarios. But Kanye is using all these different outlets. His Twitter is a big outlet, and he's obviously been using that. But let's talk about where we start to split the conversation. Akademiks, even towards the end of that piece, they're saying, we got to stop taking the black fathers out of the homes. Now, you create with people like me sensitivity from a general level because we are talking about kids. We are talking about children being raised with their parents. And a father in the household is extremely, extremely important. Not just even in a household. Worst case scenario, a father being involved. Now, what do I mean by involved? One thing I don't want to see is back and forth with Kanye and Kim or people getting split on this now. This is a whole topic. Now it's becoming a bigger picture, and we want to weigh in on how do we feel? It's emotional ties about families, about kids. It's about this. It's about Kanye being a brat. Is it about him being a shitty person and being removed from the regardless of where you feel about that. Once you start talking about decision making when it comes to the rights to his kid's name, being able to LLC them and put them in a song or whatever, Most of us don't give a shit about that. That's not our regular lives. We don't care if Kim and Kanye in their billion-dollar arguments and custody wars want to fuss over somebody's middle name or some shit. We don't care about that, right? It becomes a little bit more edgy and sensitive when you start making claims of, you are taking me away from my children and I am a deserving parent. No deserving parent should ever be removed. So that last piece of what Akademiks said, I agree with. Bear with me, J Pitt City. Give me a second. I absolutely agree with that. And he also earlier in his comment, he tore at Kim's side, right? The white. Let me get to the cultural piece. I'll save that for third. The debauchery and all this of what you guys are doing versus, in your family versus the father not being there. Now what you're doing is you're saying this person over here, Kanye, who you just conveniently interviewed, is good and you people are bad. Well, when we get off the general topic of the availability of a parent to a child, and we start to now make it focused on Kanye specifically, your family and the people that's currently around the children are bad. This person is good. That's not an easy sell, right? I don't think that the Jenners and Kim and all these people are angels. I'm not saying that everything they got going on in the household and all the imagery that you could see from them, from these kids is grade A. I'm not saying that at all, right? But we damn sure don't see a reason to stick up for Kanye as far as what these kids will learn, take, and look up to you for. Okay, so let's push that one to the side from what Ak said. Let's go to the cultural one that he said. That one Ak got to be careful with, in my opinion. It's not a cancelable internet go on fire type of situation. I think you just need to be careful about it when it comes to using anything that's race or cultural based as it pertains to parenting, right? It's not right to say we shouldn't have a white family raising black children. Well, first of all, Kanye tracked down Kim. He chose his wife. He chose the mother of his children. He was on her heels. He tracked her down. He has interviews talking about this. I lusted her. He went after her while she was still married. He said, if Kim would have took me when I was really on her heels, there would have never been an Amber Rose. Remember that? That's his statements. Okay. So he tracked her down even while she was married. So she is what she is. She could be white, black, Asian, Hispanic. It is what it is, right? I know a lot of great black fathers, mothers, families. I know a lot of great Asian mothers, fathers, families. Same thing for Hispanic. Same thing for white. Okay, so let's not do the whole, oh, now I got an issue with the family around these kids being white, because when these kids were coming up and all of that, when Kanye was there, it was beautiful. It was these two powerhouses together, Kim and Kanye, and he knew what he was marrying into, right? You're damn near also looking at the family. I'm not saying it as a come up because Kanye is Kanye, right? But you know what you're getting. You're being brought in to the Jenner's empire. Yes, I use the word empire. That's literally what they have, an empire. They probably sitting down somewhere right now, just getting just random hit-ups from editors, directors, and filmmakers. Hey, man, we got this show that we want to pitch to you. I'm not interested. I'm going to take this summer off. They got an empire. The money that's going over there, boy. Are you kidding me? And there was no problem when Kanye was in the midst of that, and it's this power couple coming up together. It wasn't about the family around, at least Kim's side of the family, being white then. And not only that, where is your side of the family? That becomes a question to me. Right? We can't attack it from past the parents and go into the family because you brought the families in. Okay. So you have a black family, right? That can still be involved, hopefully. Right. But that's another story, another layer. And I don't need to go towards that angle. I just think that what Akademiks said, if you don't split the conversation, you can just automatically assume that, wait a minute, a black father is important to the household. So yet this white family and culturally and the debauchery over there with the Jenners, he should be there. This is a unique situation. Everybody's situation is unique. Everybody's situation is different. You show me a father that handles his business, that is fitting, that is safe, that does not try to teach these kids the fuckery of it's okay to walk around with KKK robes or exchange amongst other people to continue to spread racism and wearing of diamond encrusted swastikas, I'm going to tell you, even I have a problem with that father not being there. But when you show me Kanye West recruiting and dropping flyers around California neighborhoods to have people show up, and the flyer says must be wearing all black, must not be fat, and oh yeah, by the way, must be comfortable to wear swastikas, right? I'm not sure if I want my fucking kids around that. I'm not sure about that. So you're not going to draw on the emotional string of a father being subtracted from the home when no, I'm going to grab myself and say, damn, that is fucked up. And I'm going to say, let me pay attention to the details. The details is Kanye. It's what Kanye created. Even if Kim is at fault for their failures, I don't give a fuck about why their relationship failed. He's half of the equation. Okay? And he's showing us who he is online. That is never to be forgotten or ignored. Shit, fuck us. You're showing the courts. Speaking of swastikas, unfortunately, and I'll get into why this union is even here in the first place. But who wants their kids around this? Somebody that does this.
You know, murder case. He's knighting him. He's got murder. Oh my God. He's a Michigan. That's crazy. Two people, okay? Yeah. It's on both sides.
You could pause it there. Damn, I missed the days of when you're gifted a chain, it's the Rockefeller chain or the No Limit chain. Well, the Cash Money chain, like I miss those days. Once upon a time, Kanye West was gifted a Rockefeller chain on stage by Dame Dash, right? It was a hip hop moment. It was dope. It was great to see the chaining of the artist, the confirmation of who they are, the bringing you into a family, the co-signing of you, the chaining of somebody as it relates in hip hop, right? It meant something good. You know, I guess Kanye took what he got in the past from the Jay-Z's and the Dame Dashes of the world, and this is what has evolved into his context of chaining somebody, right? Putting swastika medallions and chains around people's necks. Yo, Ak, how about you speak to that, buddy? Because you want to say the debauchery and whatnot of this white family that has these kids in their presence. What about this presence right here, right? I don't have to talk about, like, if I'm Kim, right? Hypothetically, if I'm in this custody battle with you, it's not even just the swastika, right? How about you are parading around with this guy that just wants to be a self-proclaimed internet shooter or alleged murderer? Well, my kids around this type of shit once again. This is what I can't believe that Act, because he did an interview with this guy, he wants to put himself on the record and draw on the Black Father card. It just takes a little bit of intelligence to see through the weeds, but that was great. And just specifically now, slightly for a second, moving off the chain and what he's showing as a great black man and a great father. Why are these two even together?
When I would meet with Drake, I was just telling him, like, why are you working with J. Cole, bro? It's not even a human, like an actual person, bro. It's like
changed again.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
People say they like
changed
I
again.
don't know if y'all like J. Cole raps, so if y'all do, just do not tell me that because I don't want to like look at y'all differently and shit. But it's like I hate J. Cole. It can't even be called music. I hate J. Cole, what he does, bro. I hate the people that sign J. Cole, you know. And like I'm like, yo, you can't be pushing this to people. And it was something about both like J. Cole and Kendrick that needs to sort of like, it reminds me of each other and shit like that. Like, it's just not that sauce to me like that. It's like, I saw this shit with Ben Affleck saying that Kendrick was one of his favorite rappers. I was like, bro, anybody that that Kendrick is one of his favorite rappers, don't know about rap. Doesn't know what real.
So you agree to about the beef?
Or the favorite line, my favorite line of the whole shit was like, you rap like you trying to keep the safe streak, or whatever that line was. That was like my favorite bar, and it used to eat me up, and I could, me the fact.
Oh, it's burning my skin. Why do they both have that GGG chain on? You guys are friends, brothers now. Congratulations. Birds of a feather flock together type of shit that you just got to continue to watch and see. Top 5 is has a little bit of the effect of Kanye in their interactions. I see it in multiple clips. You talked all that online and had all the trying to, once again, I got to do something for Drake. That's my claim to fame. So I got to ride for Drake in any sense. I'm a Swiss cheese, Kendrick's car when they come to Toronto. I'm going to do my homework on a Not Like Us video. Even though I just got home from beating a murder, right? Kanye, I got an issue with you, blah, blah, blah. But when you're in a room with Kanye, as much as I think that allegedly, do I need to say allegedly? I think Kanye is a sucker for a lot of the stuff that he does. I see the gravity of Kanye pulling at top 5, right? Top 5 doesn't seem as charismatic and around when he's standing next to Kanye. But, you guys are wearing chains together, gifting each other swastika chains and all that. And I think this devalues Kanye. Why does it devalue Kanye? Number one, if one of these people in that mix is supposed to be standing next to you, it's supposed to be Drake, because that's the caliber of person that Kanye is supposed to be. You're not supposed to let his little henchman that the whole internet dislikes come get next to you, because it almost looks like he's like Drake sent him and got him around you, like smoothing things out between y'all. In the midst of now, you just now want to discuss why you dislike J. Cole and Kendrick. And all the stuff that you're saying about Kendrick is you're entitled to your opinion, right? But when you say things that just is like unfathomable, you could bump into somebody right now. Are you a fan of Kendrick Lamar? Yeah, I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar. How about this person? You a fan of Kendrick Lamar? Nah, I despise him. I hate his voice. I don't like him. But when you, especially as an artist, he can't rap. He's not a good rapper. It's just like artists that I don't like. If they could rap, I'm still gonna say that they could rap. It's lame shit. This nigga's such a fucking lame. And when I see these two people together, it's just like, it kind of makes sense to me. It kind of makes sense to me, right? Whatever. Flip back and forth. Tomorrow, if you decide to hate Drake again, no problem. Drake and Kanye belong possibly together as well. Drake could actually show me a little bit of strength by saying, too much has happened. I'm cool. Kanye, we could let bygones be bygones, but you can't continue to do these tweets and these little things on the internet to try to get closer to me again. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm cool. Drake would show me some strength and some backbone by actually doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because I really, really believe that Kanye is infatuated with Drake. That's just my opinion. Feared him, admit out of his own mouth he was jealous of him, has this back and forth type of energy towards him. I think he's infatuated with Drake. Didn't he say like things like if he could write my music? Like he's infatuated with Drake. Kanye's got a lot of weird stuff to him, right? Speaking of, as I start to bridge into Adam 22, and he's going to continue even into the Lil Durk side, right? And now moving a little bit more into the conspiracy and get your silver tinfoil stuff ready. Let me start the bridge over. And let me start that bridge with Adam 22, but yet still keeping it Kanye for a second. Adam 22 adds fuel to wild cuck rumors about Kanye West. It's bugged out. Didn't I say that? There's going to be 2 examples in this stream. I was just like, damn, I might have been a little bit ahead of the curve. Y'all seen when I said that about Kanye before, right? I said, allegedly, in my opinion, the way he comes off, the way his mannerisms, the way he talks, the things that he's shown, the things that he's been accused of, the things that he's tweeted. There's examples of it. Not the case of his old assistant that's suing him, not just her. Yeah, I didn't forget that. Yay. There's another one. Was it tweets or something from Kanye where he was like very curious about another man? What woman? Now I want to give it a second. What woman was it that said that he was curious? Oh, it was what's her name? Playboy Cardi's BM. What's her name? That was signed to T.I. She cutie too. The fuck is her name? Let me go to chat. No, I'm not gonna rush past that. What's her name again? She's a big artist. I'm tripping. I'm going blank. At least there you go. Thank you. Iggy. Yeah. Didn't she say it? Didn't we play that? Didn't she say that he was very interested in if her current man or whatever was a certain way with her sexually, whatever? Didn't he say that? And I was just like, yo, the history of this guy, in my opinion, allegedly, he's got cuck-like tendencies. Anyway, Adam 22 adds fuel to the wild cuck rule. I didn't even know that it was already fuel there about Kanye West. Kanye West previously described his style of music as cuck. Why didn't y'all tell me that? I would have brought that up on the screen. What? What even style is that? Sharing music, collaborative. That's the only comparison I can make. Collaborative music. I'm gonna call it cuck. He's crazy. All right. Is even naming his next album after that idea. Oh my god. Get your bed. Akademiks, are you seeing this stuff? Adam 22 says that he heard Kanye West once allegedly reached out to Sky Bree in an attempt to get in contact with a male sex worker by the name of Dread. Bree allegedly told Adam that Kanye West was hoping Dread would hook up with his wife, Bianca Censori, while he watched. Okay. I guess they're saying allegedly, and Adam 22 said that in a recent interview on Vlad, I believe. Okay. As I move over into Lil Durk, let me come back over here real quick. Once again, shout out to J Pitt City. Appreciate the super says, salute to the dads in here. So we're going to sit here and act like Kanye doesn't have issues. I'm not saying keep him away from his kids. I'm saying we're going to act like Ye is normal. That's some of my sentiment, and that's what I think that Akademiks he did without realizing, or maybe he did realize it. I get it. One of the biggest artists in music history gives you an interview. You're thankful. You create a bias. You create a favor for that person. I've done that before. Artists that I work with. How many times have I said, here's the difference in me though. I said, if it's somebody I really rock with, and they have a battle this weekend and they get killed and dragged, I'm not gonna recap it. I'll probably just skip it. Like, I'm not gonna come on camera and say, "Hey, I'm riding with you because I don't know why everybody else believes that you lost." I'm gonna tell you the reason why I think you really, because now it's like my credibility is being trashed. So I get it. Kanye has favor and bias now with Akademiks, which is some of the reason why people would even do that, why Kanye even did that interview, right? This guy has a big platform. He's streaming 6 hours a day, right? I kind of would love for my narratives or my beliefs to be a part of his, or for at least for him to be sympathetic or understanding of me. People like to get their narratives or have controls on or have bias or have friendships with people with voices. Period. There's people in this industry right now that question how they can navigate my voice. They're like, oh, I got to be careful because he's there at 6 a.m. every day, right? Trust me. Powers that be, even within the battle rap space, they're curious about how I can use my voice because I have a platform, right? That's what Kanye just did to Akademiks, and Akademiks gets up there and he splits it without, whether he knew it or not, makes an overall topic of the black father in the house versus, but yeah, shout out to you, J Pitt City. Shout out to you. Let me get directly into the Lil Durk update. But then as I get into this quick documentary, it's going to bring us back into the Illuminati space. All right. So just bear with me, people. When it comes to Lil Durk, this bugged me out a little bit too. I ain't gonna lie when I seen this. Prosecutors seize unreleased Lil Durk track. They say justifies keeping him behind bars. Okay. All right. Look at some of this caption. Prosecutor sees unreleased Lil Durk track they say justifies keeping him behind bars. Federal prosecutors say they've seized an unreleased Lil Durk track that corroborates their argument to keep the rapper behind bars. Lil Durk currently jailed on murder for hire charges tied to the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, also known as Lil Pab. A superseding indictment from November accuses Durk of having conspired, etc., etc., etc. Earlier this month, Lil Durk's lawyer blamed YouTube fan pages for circulating lyrics used by the government, arguing a version of Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy wasn't released by Lil Durk himself. But in an April 28th court filing, the government said Durk's bid for release fails. Prosecutors claim his team ignored issues of the flight risk. And where's the song? Here it is right here. To support their stance, they cite another track, School His Ass, which prosecutors say has not been officially released. Still, they argue its lyrics corroborate defendants' danger. They highlight lines about riding through Beverly Hills with choppers and referring to himself as bounty hunter. I'm going to tell you why that tripped me out, people. The reason why that tripped me out is even from the unsealed, when we first read his initial indictment. When we first read his initial indictment and we saw the song that they was using, you know, green light, go, go, got the screaming, no, no, pussy. That one, I've said it on how many streams. I was just like, shit, he's kind of lucky that that's the song that they're using. I said, he's got worse songs out there, you know, and y'all heard me multiple times. This is why this spooked me out when I read this one. I said, oh, I said multiple times. I said songs like Beverly Hills. Now, why am I saying the name Beverly Hills? Because AKA, that's what was just in that article. School His Ass. It was unofficially released. It's all over YouTube, you know, with like, you know how people make fake videos to the song, but like, let's say the artist puts out a song and teases it, right? And then people just put like fake visuals to it until the official video comes out. Some people call that song Beverly Hills, which I always have, and some people call it School His Ass, right? So when I saw that, I was just like, oh, shit. How many times have I said, if we can see it, they can see it, the feds, right? So, yeah, they are expanding. They're looking into some of his songs. I think it's one of the hardest tracks that have been released by Durk in like the last 12 months, to be honest. Like, this literally is my shit. I got to keep pausing it in between. So it's a banger. Riding to Beverly Hills with choppers. Dynasty the Oppas. They call my phone when they see. I bet it hit harder. Go. We hop out, School His Ass. Cause we got Uber tags. Yes, I pop X and I'm Super Saiyan. I can't pull that trigger. I know Booker can. He turned to Ricky. Then we reveal he turned to Mickey. What? Who don't know this song? It's an extremely popular. I don't know about y'all. I've been bumping this in the gym for like the last year. Like real shit. So once again, if we know it, if the whole internet knows it, they know it. You know what I'm saying? And also what caught my eye in that article was they said they seized it. I'm not gonna reach because I don't have none of that paperwork in front of me, but let's just ask the question: what do they mean by that when they say seize? Like when we hear seizing of something like by the feds or authorities, we assume, all right, they kicked in your door, you had some illegal guns in there and they seized it, right? Cool. This song has been all over YouTube a million times over. It's probably got millions and millions of views between all the different channels that it's playing on. So when you say you seized it, did you go and grab like the original copy? Is it something that was taken from his property or his premises, his studio? How did you seize it? You don't have to seize it if you say, hey, we're bringing this in from YouTube and we're showing you this. We've already confirmed that voice identifiers that this is not some made up track before they tell us that. This is really Lil Durk rapping this shit. Like, you don't have to seize it if you just brought it off of YouTube the same way I just brought it up here on the screen. Right? So I'll keep an eye on that. Lyrics, people. Lyrics. If you want to rap about the stuff that you've done, this is the result, allegedly. Now let's get into a little bit more of the Malcolm X now. And well, actually all of the Malcolm X piece, and bridging into the Black home, the powers that be, these rappers and the things that they go through, Kanye West and his fatherhood. This is a very short documentary. It's only like 6.5 minutes, right? But check this out. I feel like it's got some very, very strong points.
Nothing is more disappointing than somebody that made it out the hood with a multi-generational following and multi-million dollars, acting as if they want to impress somebody in the hood. You want to relate to the hood? Show them how to get out. This is a little different than what I usually do, but it's something that we have in every city. We all know the biggest disappointment in my city, Lil Durk. A man with a Grammy Award caught in a Fed case because allegedly he was trying to avenge a crash out that should have never been around him. No disrespect to King Von, but you put your hands on somebody and they shoot you. That's called cause and effect. Ain't nothing to get back for. In fact, I hope Lil Durk is innocent because there's too many dead people around him for this to be the revenge he throws his life away for. Not to mention, the guys on every hit associated with his name are straight creative players. That's not to say these guys ain't dangerous. According to one of them, they'll kill you just for a payment. But that's not how the streets work. If we friends, I shouldn't have to pay you to do nothing. Brick Baby, at nearly 40 years old, as impossible as it sounds, a porn star actually gave you the clout that rapping would have never given you. We all know that Adam wanted you to crash out to keep his revenue flowing, and you fell for it. But that's fine. You a gang member. I didn't expect nothing less. Adam is going to put you in situations where your enemies get brought up, and you're going to have something to say. It's just content, and you were getting paid for it too. But failing to realize that when it comes to you and the law, Adam is going to choose the law every time. That makes him more mature than you. And he's a guy who I regard as having no soul at all. I won't mention any allegations on it.
I do want to speak to that real quick. It said, when it comes to the law, he's always going to go to them or use them, right? Which makes him smarter than you. As much as people give the Adam 22s of the world backlash, hell, I do as well. Who are the people that win the game? All right, get your Illuminati hats, continued.
On his name until proven true, but
and I'm not saying Adam 22 is Illuminati, people. It's a parallel, a perspective that I'm creating of the overarching people that become the puppeteers, all right, to the puppets.
Who is this man? He is the son of a corrupt alderman that lobbied for $1 million contracts to benefit the construction company he worked for before being pardoned by the president of the United States when he got caught in a fraud case. And his uncle, the one who likely secured the pardon, was a board member for the government agency responsible for all the money the U.S. sends to other countries. He managed the campaign for the longest serving governor in the history of Massachusetts, and he was an informal advisor for President Clinton. To say his uncle was a powerful man is an understatement. How does a man with a family this powerful and influential enough to ask for a presidential pardon become an adult content creator with a hip-hop culture podcast? There's no way the FBI came to his house without a member of his family informing him beforehand, and I'm not saying he's a government informant. I'm just saying I can't rule it out. Looking at Adam 22 as a culture vulture is just a distraction compared to what he could actually be. He has days worth of footage on Brick Baby saying things a man with 2 strikes in California should not be saying. And as a result, the federal government has this too. Brick has enough clout and charisma to do his own podcast to make a living, but being in too deep with the rolling 60s, still, at nearly 40 years old, he dug his own grave. He'll still probably be out before Big U. Lil Baby, from 2017 to now, his career has gone in the wrong direction. When the court in Atlanta is playing recordings of men insinuating that you, a 30-year-old man, have placed bounties on people's head when you're a millionaire, you have made a fatal error. With all the weird things you probably did with Michael Rubin, it appears you failed to learn the most important thing he could have taught you. Because the closest you will see a guy like him to street politics is when he makes all these rappers come party on his boat like a bunch of thoughts. I'm not trying to be bogus, I'm just calling it out like it is. 21 Savage. I used to listen to you back in 2016, but at your age, still rapping like you in the hood, killing anything but a fly that buzz past your head, It's embarrassing. A lot of y'all, you, Baby, and Young Thug, guys that could really drop game and show the little YNs how to make it out, will rather pretend to be gang members. Thug, you can't be a gang member because half your gang pled guilty and showed them people in court a lot of respect. One of your main shooters threw you under the bus, so he has no loyalty to you. Shout out to Woody for taking care of his family, but if that case wasn't live streamed, it wouldn't have been no I don't recall. He would have recalled everything he did, in fact, tell those detectives in the interrogation room. So what's the point of being in a gang? If the guy shooting for you provides the most evidence against you, the dude you made rich and signed to a deal that pretended to be a crip won't even sit in the cell with you for 6 whole months. All the rappers in Chicago either die or lose their buzz after 2 years. The whole Jacksonville rap scene that had the most mainstream success is either dead or in jail getting testified against by their father, aside from a couple. New York drill is dead. Y'all boys are getting hit by the feds every time it looked like they took a break. The main hope for hip-hop in New York got told on by his own friend. The streets is dead. And we got people with money and influence, and people with influence that could have got some money, all either suffering or about to suffer the consequences. It's embarrassing. Malcolm X once laughed at and mocked the fact that in the black community, musicians and comedians were made to be the leaders by those who actually had the power to put money and influence behind them. 300 Entertainment, responsible for Young Thug and the whole music aspect of YSL, Metro Boomin, Megan Thee Stallion, YNW Melly, QC, the label responsible for Lil Baby, the Migos, Cardi B, and many more. First of all, the founder of 300 worked for a bank responsible for the illegal under international law displacement of Palestinians. The rest of these artists are all under labels owned by Warner, which is headed by oligarchs not even born in the United States. Somebody has been working for decades to put money behind embarrassments to our community. And we wonder why others don't take us serious. Why someone like Adam 22 doesn't fear the consequences of what he does, because he knows it's easier to pit people with money and influence against their own community. And that's because the wrong people are put in these positions. I come from the south side of Chicago. I've seen gang members in the black community, and I've seen judges, police officers, and doctors in our community. Violence interrupters in the hood, men who literally and metaphorically jump in front of bullets before they start flying. But you'll never see millions of dollars put behind them. And it's not about race, because as the Romans knew when they conquered the known world, divide and conquer is how you gain control of everything. The same reason a killer is more famous than a mathematician is the same reason that those that don't know us think that this is what we all are. I've seen a lot growing up on the south side. I saw men die every day. But one thing I never saw was BLM. Once again, divide and conquer. And don't let my video do this to you. I love everybody. I'm just not going to lie to you or sugarcoat, especially not to benefit one community over the other. Because at the end of the day, most of us are not billionaires. So we actually all in this together. But again, it's much easier to put all of us against each other.
Hell nah, hold on. Trap University. I must give you a subscribe off of that video alone. I'm even gonna turn my notifications on right here in front of everybody. Trap University, 63.5 thousand subscribers. You deserve more. Let me drop a comment. This video was incredible. Thank you for this message. Real talk. I gotta drop that. I gotta say that. Killers are more famous than our mathematicians. He said the person that claimed to be a Crip wouldn't spend 6 months in jail with you. This was such a powerful video for me, personally. Now, as we talk about the Illuminati aspect, right? Because that piece there gives me it gives me the ability to bring that up, because power structures, right? When we talk about Adam 22's alleged government affiliation, and his family having power, and him allegedly getting a presidential pardon or whatever for something he got into it prior. When you talk about, I could go all the way back to NWA. The depiction in Straight Outta Compton of how there was people in between them that drove them against each other for gain. For example, the separation of Eazy-E. I would assume that has happened a million times over. You know, they're not the first group to be divided and conquered. That was a theme towards the very end of this video. Divide and conquer, right? Probably happened in your favorite boy band. You know what I'm saying? Justin Timberlake, somebody gets in his ear, says, man, fuck that NSYNC shit. Or like, you're the star. You're going to do movies and music. Beyonce, it's really you. Let's go over here. Omarion and B2K. I mean, the list is long. You start in a group, people come out in a group, and then sooner or later somebody's gonna say, "That's the money, that's the power, that's the star, that's the face, that's the truth, the biggest talent." Let's go over here, and we don't. Why spend the money on the rest of this and deal with all the rest of this? I don't need these other people. Some members of Destiny Child may survive, right? But like Kelly Rowland, but for the most part, I just need Beyonce, right? Like everything else around this equation right here was just temporary. All right. Now, when you talk about people getting in trouble, when you have like an Adam 22, somebody put in the chat, Cisco. Y'all don't fuck with Nokia and them. I appreciate that, Princess. Yeah, Giants today. But think about the criminal side of this now. Like when you look at Adam 22, and you have gang members up there, you have people with criminal records up there, and yet you still have these type of conversations. It's not Adam 22's fault, right? But when I ask the question of like who wins the game, though, okay, let me bleed this back now into Kanye. The black father being subtracted from the home. Do I believe that is a real thing? I do. I believe in, and I've seen and I've lived through the racial divides in this country. I've lived and I've seen the prejudice and the inequalities. I've been a victim of them. It's here for us. Have we come a long way? Yes. I'm a successful black man with a successful family around me, and I try not to complain about that type of stuff because it becomes a chip on your shoulder, right? It's no different than my experience in battle rap, man. You feel like you got hardships or things that may be against you. Your job is still to work through as much as possible. It doesn't do me no good by just saying, damn, these powers that be or the man is crippling me, so I'm just going to stop right here at the starting line. No, I'm going to keep running towards the finish. I might not get there, but I'm damn sure going to run towards that bitch, right? So all of these people that go on to win, right? Like the people that are making money off of Kanye. And I can even say Jay-Z because power structure wise, Jay-Z is above Kanye. Kanye recently came out, complaining like, look who owns how much money he still makes off of me, right? That's a level above him then from a structure standpoint, ownership standpoint. Okay. And then there's also people above Jay-Z. There's people that were putting money and deals on pause while he handled his business, right? There's always somebody above you all the way up through the Bilderbergs, all right? If y'all know what I'm talking about. But the black home and the division there, yes, it is a real thing. It is a real thing. And nobody's going to protect you if you are generating money for them. They're not going to protect you from yourself. So how many people would comment or tweet? Somebody take Kanye's Twitter. Somebody shut down his Twitter. Somebody do this. Somebody do that. Somebody shut him up. He's hurting himself and others and possibly his own family, right? It remains there, though. Now, he has his own responsibility to not picking up that fucking phone and typing that shit, saying things like Hitler was fresh. That's still him, his fingers typing that shit, right? But somebody above him has no problem with him tweeting that. Who? Why? Those become the Illuminati conspiracy type of questions. And that's why it's like, I got to make sure I do my job as a person and also as a podcast. When I see those type of comments from academics, to make sure that I separate and say that piece when he says the black fathers are important and taking these black fathers out of their homes is destruction. You're right. That is a thing. That is a problem. There are power structures above that don't mind having us and benefiting off of us in these positions where we kill each other and destroy ourselves, right? And then I have to look at the other side and say, no. The culpability of what Kanye is doing, there's going to be some ramifications to that, i.e. his custody battles, okay? But who is still gaining off of this right now? somebody is making money off of Kanye West going off the fucking walls like this. That is a fact. That is a fact. And when I say money, I don't mean like, I mean, we're streaming about it. No, I mean like somebody that is like really, no, those tweets and that engagement and the viral nature of this conversation, it's part of my overall yearly analytics and ad ratios and sponsors that I get. There's people that don't necessarily care. And think about this as well. What Kanye does there further hurts us. When I say us, I mean black folks, right? Because he's a representative of us, i.e., right? He's a representative. He's a voice of us, supposedly, right? Especially from the hip hop space. Everybody's tuning in, right? Everybody's listening to him, right? And that's what he represents. Somebody also, not only do they not have a problem with him doing what he's doing and earning from it, right? But they also don't have a problem with him representing this shit for his quote unquote people. Even some of his anti-Semitic stuff before that seemed to have got shut down in a split second. I'm watching this now and I'm like, why can he do this shit for this long with all the robes and the chaining of people now, giving swastikas out to people and these? Why is he able? I feel like if I started talking like this on this podcast right now, I feel like the stream might just drop. Like, think about it. All right. So I promised y'all a link to a deeper discussion. And there you have it. And shout out to that mini doc as well. There's just more thoughts that we need to have. It's always more important. I know we're entertained by some of this shit, and so am I, like I said before, but it's a deeper meaning and need when we discuss even stupid shit. Like, hey, you see Kanye's latest tweet? There's more. There's just more, people. All right. Short one. Just a follow-up to yesterday, or what was it, yesterday, the day before? So now the update to Dame Dash is exclusive. Judge may arrest Dame Dash to get him to court over the $4 million judgment. Damon Dash was warned by a federal judge that he could be arrested if he doesn't comply with court orders in his legal dispute versus Josh Weber. Damon Dash is facing the threat of arrest after repeatedly ignoring court-ordered discovery deadlines in a long-running legal fight with filmmaker Josh Weber over unpaid judgments and asset disclosures. A federal judge warned that if Dash and his company, Poppington LLC, fail to comply with discovery demands by May 9th, a little over a week from now, the court will hold him in contempt and may issue a bench warrant to compel his appearance. So if you issue a bench warrant, that's when you could get thrown in the little what do we used to call those? Little wagons. We used to have names for them shits, where those are people's jobs to just execute warrants. Every time y'all hear a warrant, it's not training day, right? It could simply be you missed a court date. Good job, Shata. Like, that was a friendly shot. You miss a court date, and the judge is like, all right, they call your name. Yeah, it's like, it's such and such here. If you have a attorney there, no, my defendant is not here, my client is not here. All right, go sit down. We're gonna continue to go through everybody else here. We'll give another chance in like 2 hours or whatever. Call your name again. Still didn't come. They now determine you didn't show up. You're a no-show, and they issue a warrant for you. So then you got these cops or whatever. Their job is they got a list of paper that morning, and they just drive to these known addresses, and they knock on the door peacefully and say, it's such and such here. Yes, you have a warrant for your arrest. I need you to come on out and come with me. You will be handcuffed, and you'll be thrown into the little back of the bus, and then you're taken to the local precinct. And if it's the right time, they do that shit in the mornings. You'll hopefully see a judge that day, and if it ain't that serious, you'll be let out that same day. If it is serious, then you just got grabbed. But it's a very, very 9 times out of 10 it's not a crazy process, not a kick in the door. It's a knock. Hey man, hey, you got a warrant, man, come with me. You know what I'm saying? Let's go handle this. And you got to go on the bracelets for it. But So yeah, that can happen to Dame. He can have a bench warrant issued for him over this, and this is stemming to him not supplying information and data that they asked to, I guess, divulge and pinpoint what his finances are, because they're trying to collect. And I think he's just, from what the papers are saying or the reports are saying, he's been non-compliant, right? I mean, you're Dame Dash. You're not just going to be able to just run away, you know? So, and when I say run away, meaning your celebrity and your status, and I mean, you're not some no-name person. So the person that won this judgment on you, they're gonna stay on your heels, it seems like, or else they wouldn't have gone through all of this in the first, and then they actually won their judgment. So, you know, that's money that they want to collect. Yeah, sucks for him, man. Quick funny one. I don't got no news for this, but yeah, I saw it.
I only heard from 2 teams. Guess what the 2 teams they called me on? You'll say, what's your phone number? Where you gonna be?
Who that?
Shut the f- up. Next door. Cincinnati Bengals was one.
Everybody's face. You know, it just looks like. Look, thank you, K. Yeah, Patty Wagon, appreciate it. Thank you, y'all. Yes, absolutely. It's just a reminder. Not Shannon Sharpe. I ain't on his heels for this. All of us have moments that aren't always portrayed on camera. Okay, like y'all don't really see me in a turned up presentation. Y'all never see me. Well, y'all have seen me scream before on this channel, but you know, you haven't seen me like in war mode. You know what I'm saying? You haven't seen me when I'm in red tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all never seen that. If you did, which you won't, it's a completely different person. Right? And we're all like that. All of us. You know, so he's there trying to do his podcast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, Shador Sanders, you know, it's kind of fell to the 5th round. Shut the fuck. It's just because of what he's going, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but it's because of what he's going through right now. And what he's going through got people seeing him in different lights. It's just like, damn, behind the scenes, all this bondage stuff and young girls, and I'm gonna choke you when I see you, and allegedly. I think this 30 seconds might come out that look crazy, y'all. I'm trying to warn y'all, like, damn, Shannon, like, what the? It just puts you in a different light. So now when you have little things like this, it's gonna go viral on them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it comes with the territory of what he's dealing with. But yeah. Nah, I wasn't. A2 Sports Network. Absolutely. That man has never seen my red tunnel. All right, let me say this separate topic. When I say the words red tunnel, if you ever hear me say that on my streams again, what I mean by the red tunnel is like the red is pretty much supposed to like signify blood. Like your eyes bleed, like you don't, it's the passion moment, right? Now, if you're dealing with something that's like, let's say, violent, that's when the adrenaline, your drive, your tunnel vision, you could beat somebody to death without even realizing. That's when, you know, somebody just beats you into the floor and won't stop hitting you. And then when it's all over, it looks like they didn't even know what was happening. It's just like, oh shit, I killed him with my bare hands. Like, I think that's like a depiction of the red tunnel. Okay. Just fully blacking out or redding out. Passion moments. The one that you put up there is premeditated. I knew what I was gonna say. That's why you even get different charges for premeditated versus passion crimes, right? I came home and this bitch had who in my crib, and I killed them both. Right? It's not cool either way, but you know, passion crimes are lawyers even try to defend them differently. My client lost his mind, or was crazy, or this was traumatic, or this comes from his childhood, versus, yeah, I got the text message from Brick, and then we hopped on these flights and we got out there, and then we went and got the ski mask, and we allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Premeditated is different. That's why they say sometimes, if you feel the way about somebody or something, have a night of sleep. and see how you feel in the morning, because the heat of the situation, you might even be walking towards the red tunnel. You might not fully be in it, but you know, in the heat of a moment, I've been there myself and I've been there around others. That's when it takes 5 people to hold back one man, like the 300 scene, right? Remember, his son got his head chopped off. He watched his son get decapitated, right? And he went into the red tunnel. And he just started killing people in front of him. He broke rank. He left the formation that they're so well trained for. It was just a passion red tunnel moment for him. And he screamed. And it took, multiple men to bring him back into rank. Damn, that's a great reference. That is a great scene of what I mean by the red tunnel, people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, can't nobody tell you nothing in that moment. And 10 people grab him, hold him down until he calms down. And when his brain finally clicks out of it, we're all safe again. Not we all, but I've seen it. You know what I mean? So, all right. Fun stream today. Oh, we hit just about an hour. Okay, cool. Appreciate y'all. Let me know y'all comments below about how we bridge that together, the Kanye topic into the Lil Durk topic, and how Adam 22 was just an example of us now painting those higher level pictures. What y'all think about that? I try to give some hints in my thumbnails. The titles many times lately have been about the first or the main topic, but you guys see my style. I talk about many things that are not in the title, things that aren't also in the thumbnail. And you never know if we're going to try to theme a stream by bridging gaps between certain topics. So I try to keep it creative. And I think this is one where we did that today. So y'all let me know how y'all feel. Yeah, man. You took my car, killed my dog. It's a wrap for y'all niggas. Yo, on that one, I'm getting the hell out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all day.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.